The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, good morning. With Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. Thanks for being with us this morning. Here's what else is surreal. I'm guessing this has probably happened before. I don't recall it because sometimes with these awards, if it's not involving your team or folks that you're familiar with, you go, oh, that's nice. But when you think about this, first of all, for a school to have a player listed as a finalist for the Lombardi Award or any award like this, Butkus, Johnny Unitas, whatever, things along those lines, Davey O'Brien. But to have two listed as finalists and there's four finalists, it speaks to how great your defense has been this year, with senior linebacker Jacob Rodriguez and outside linebacker David Bailey yesterday being named two of the four finalists for the Lombardi Award, which honors the nation's top college linemen and linebackers. This award will be presented on December the 10th in Houston. They were joined by Texas A&M defensive end Cassius Howell and Alabama offensive lineman Caden Proctor. I'm sure those two gentlemen are very worthy, but you got a 50% chance of somebody walking away with that thing. That's nuts, isn't it?
That's good.
Yeah.
I like those odds.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
like that they may be taking votes away from one another.
Well, I had that thought. As soon as that came out, that's the negative thought that went into my head. It's like, are we doing a Harold and Crabtree thing here, with regard to the Heisman? But, man, it is, for Jacob Rodriguez, he's got 100 tackles, 9.5 tackles for loss, a sack, 4 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and he leads the country in FBS play in 7 forced fumbles. He had 9 tackles and an interception last weekend. He is the only, going back to 2005, is the only FBS player to record at least 5 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions, and 2 fumble recoveries, all in the same season. Would you guess he's the leader in the pack here, Jamie?
To win that award?
Yeah.
I don't know that I would say that, just because, we're talking about an SEC player involved elsewhere. I think we all think very highly of Jacob for many, 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 many reasons. And I think that he has to me, because this is an award that's given to an offensive lineman or defensive lineman or linebacker. Okay. Mm-hmm. I think I would feel more confident with him, for the linebacker of the year award or
which is Butkus.
Yeah. Or just a defensive player of the year award.
Okay. David Bailey. He leads the FBS in 12.5 sacks. He has sacked a quarterback in 9 of 11 games. The team has 33 total sacks, the most in the Big 12, 5th highest in the country. He also ranks 4th on the Tech single season chart with 12.5. He trails Brandon Sharp and Adele Duckett. Sharp had 15 in 2009, and Duckett had 14 in 2003, and Brandon Williams had 13 in 2008. He is the 4th highest graded defensive player in the country, according to Pro Football Focus. His teammate Romello Height is in the top 5, and Romello Height's probably going, hey, what about me? Couldn't we not have 3 of the 4? That'd been pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
So they get to continue to add to their totals next week when they take on West Virginia. Okay. And no time on that game yet. That's in the 6-day window for the kickoff. And so that time is expected Sunday morning to come out. So I I don't know if you have a guess on that or anything along those lines. It seemed to me it'd probably be 11 a.m. kick. What time would an 11 a.m. kick in Morgantown be, Jeff?
11 a.m. We already discussed this.
An 11 a.m. kick here.
11 a.m. kick here?
Yeah.
Would be 11 a.m. here.
Right. And
I don't care what time it is anywhere else. It's 11 o'clock here.
Okay.
I actually like that answer.
The Central Time Zone. Best time zone.
When I first moved to Texas, I was an angry 17-year-old from New York, and didn't want to enjoy Texas, and again, extremely immature. And so for the first year that I was here, I kept my watch on Eastern Time Zone.
Oh wow!
And it's so dumb of me. I actually moved back to New York after that year, so it worked out. I didn't have to change it back.
Except you did, because of spring forward and fall back.
Yeah, there's that. But
how'd that work out?
It was a digital watch. It changed on its own, Jeff. Yeah.
Did you?
No, it didn't. I had to change it.
Did you stay on time with everything? I mean,
I learned to live with it.
You just adjusted the time in your head.
Again, so dumb.
Yeah,
it was just everything was 8/7 Central.
But hey, I mean, you were 17. I mean, and you were angry.
Well, not real thrilled about.
Not happy. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I mean,
when I moved back the second time, my own choice, I was happy to do it and happy to change my watch.
Okay. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Apparently, Georgia needs Alabama to lose to Auburn to have a chance to play in the SEC championship game, which probably is not going to happen, although it's happened before. Auburn losing to Alabama.
Yes, it has. They've got a pretty good rivalry. They've been going at it for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, there've been times with, unexpectedly Auburn rising up. With all of Tech's disappointments over the last couple of years, it is surreal. It just is. Yeah, I kind of feel that way as well. Good morning, gentlemen. I understood for the college playoffs that the top 4 seeds would go to the conference champions of the top 4 conferences. So when Tech wins the Big 12, won't they at least be number 4? Well, they changed that. Red Raider Charlie, always enjoy the show. Thank you, Red Raider Charlie. Yeah, they changed that. We get this. Also, Ohio State and Indiana are both Big Ten, so when the final bracket happens, especially if they don't play each other, is there a Big Ten championship game? Yes, there is. Or could they both be in the top 4? They still could be in the top 4, especially as Jamie said earlier, if Indiana loses on a close kick, and maybe the same thing for Ohio State, if it's a close game and Ohio State loses. But, hey, Ohio State's got to get by Michigan, and that's been no easy task for Ryan Day. In fact, it's not happened for him.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
This day in sports history today is the 19th day of November, 2025. Here's Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
Going to start us off in 1953 because the U.S. Supreme Court rules in a 7-2 decision that baseball is a sport and not a business.
Remember you telling us this before, yeah?
No antitrust then, right?
Bingo. And they will bend over backwards to keep that.
So will the NFL.
Oh, sure. I'm not saying they're the only ones. I'm just saying that Congress says jump, baseball's already in the air. That's how that rolls. 1966. John Scoville has a touchdown run and a touchdown pass, and Gene Darr, interception for a touchdown, wins it as Texas Tech upsets number 6 Arkansas 21-16. 1979. Houston Astros sign a pitcher to a record 4-year, $4.5 million contract.
His name is Nolan Ryan.
Very good.
From the California Angels.
2005. After Oklahoma takes a lead with 93 seconds left, Torian Henderson scores a last-second touchdown to give Texas Tech a 23-21 win. And that is on the list of highlights I'm trying to find.
Still don't have that one.
Don't have that one. It's on the list. I also want the first down before the touchdown, but that's also hard to find.
I think I have the Torian one.
2018, Rams beat the Kansas City Chiefs 54-51 at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. It is the third highest scoring game in NFL history. It's the first time two teams score 50 points in the same game. Patrick Mahomes, sounds a little familiar, threw 6 touchdown passes for Kansas City, most in a Monday Night Football game history.
Wow.
It's macchiato day. It's a coffee.
Okay.
It's a coffee type thing.
That's better to say that than Vichyssoise, right?
I'm still not going to say it.
Nailed it.
Now,
Chuck.
gentlemen, huge birthdays today. Quarterback who put together the single greatest season as a one-year starter for Texas Tech.
That'd be B.J. Simmons.
Happy birthday, turns 45 today.
Oh, wow.
And then if I were to say, not the president, but commander-in-chief of the athletic department.
Kirby Hocutt.
Happy birthday, number 54,
Okay.
for Kirby Hocutt today. Jodie Foster turned 63. Adam Driver, 42. Allison Janney, 66. Meg Ryan, 64. Ahmad Rashad, 76. Do you know him more for his NBC sports show or for his NBA ability?
How about his...
NFL?
NFL, so not NBA. NBA. Yeah, he did the NBA on NBC.
did.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. So do you know more for his NBC stuff or for his NFL stuff?
I think his NBC stuff.
Yeah, I mean, his playing days were really before.
Are you talking about him as a commentator or him as a player?
That's exactly the question I'm asking.
His playing days were really before.
Yeah. My question was him as an NFL commentator versus NBA commentator, or are you including in NFL player, NFL commentator, NBA
I know him more from his NBC show
No doubt.
with Ahmad Rashad and Summer Sanders as they were doing the stuff on Saturday mornings. Like, that's how I know Ahmad Rashad.
Well, for the most part, very early in his career, people knew him as Bobby Moore. That was his real name before he changed his name.
Jamie?
I know him most as Mrs. Huxtable's husband.
Yeah, there we go.
Patrick Kane, 37. Ryan Howard, 46. Joey Gallo, 32. Framber Valdez, 32. And Ann Curry is 69.
Ann Curry, wow.
And on this day, gentlemen, 1863, at the dedication of a military cemetery in Pennsylvania during the American Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln delivers one of the most memorable speeches in American history. In fewer than 275 words, Lincoln brilliantly and movingly remembered a war-weary public why the Union had to fight and win the Civil War.
7 years ago?
Reception of
Our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
Wow, very good.
I have no idea why I remember it, but I do.
The reception of Lincoln's Gettysburg Address was initially mixed. As expected, divided strictly along party lines. Nevertheless, the, quote, little speech, as Lincoln would later call it, is thought by many today to be the most eloquent articulation of the democratic vision ever written. And that is this day in sports history.
This day in sports history. By the way, Ahmad Rashad is in the Vikings Ring of Honor from Minnesota, named among the 50 greatest Vikings on their 25th anniversary team and their 40th anniversary team. He played at Oregon back in the day. So, there you go. And also known
So
as...
he's a duck, a Viking, and a peacock.
Yeah. And he's no longer married to Felicia Rashad, just so you know. He's been married 5 times, divorced 4.
Those are good numbers, though. You don't want to. You don't want to be divorced
That's what I
more
was
than.
about to say. It's hard to be married 5 times if you've only been divorced 3. Well, unless somebody passed away.
No, there's a passing away,
There's
sure.
this passing. Yeah, could happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's complicated there. But hey, you do you, right?
Yeah, whatever. Hey, whatever makes you happy. I'm glad you keep finding people. Mrs. Right is, I mean, she may not be that one, but she may be the next one. You never know for some people.
I'll tell you, Mrs. Right now, well, it didn't work out for him. But his fourth wife was the billionaire heir to Johnson & Johnson.
Heir?
Heir. Yeah, heir. She had divorced Woody Johnson, who was the Jets owner, and she was the heir to Johnson & Johnson. But
you have billionaire hair.
They did not. They did not make it. They made it 6 years. He is currently married to a psychologist. That's probably a good thing for him.
Yeah, that probably fits.
Probably needs some help for that. 6:53 this morning here on the morning drive. Here's a question. We currently have 2 SEC schools above us. Only one can win the conference. Do you think we leapfrog anyone with a Big 12 crown? Yes, I do. I do.
You'll have that whole extra data point.
Yeah. That sounded like sarcasm there, but it's true.
Okay, so you're saying, and I'm not saying you're wrong. Let me just be clear on this, that you're saying that you feel like we will leapfrog Georgia, even if they don't play in the conference championship game, right?
Yeah.
If it's A&M, what is the texter saying that Bama needs to lose to Auburn? Mm-hmm. So it sounds like the Big Ten, SEC championship game is going to be A&M and Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay? And so Georgia's not going to play in it, most likely. Mm-hmm. And so you think that we'll leapfrog Georgia, even if Georgia wins out?
I think you're going to leapfrog either Georgia or Indiana. That's where I think it's going to come from. I think one of those 2 schools is going to drop out of the top 5, top 4.
That would be if Indiana lost.
Yeah.
But you're saying even if Georgia wins out, you're going to leapfrog them.
That's a pretty bold statement.
I'm not saying that's out of the question.
Yeah, I think
it's possible. I mean, you'll get some extra love for playing in and winning a conference championship game.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. Yeah, I think that's possible.
I think at the end of the day, if you went out, Texas Tech's going to be in the top 4. Could be as high as 3.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Let's see here. Jamie did the quick work on that, and what'd you find with regard to Houston playing half their games on a Friday?
Yeah, the 12 games that they'll play on their schedule this year, 3 will be on Friday, 1 will be on Thursday. So, 1/3 of your games being played on either a Thursday or Friday night, to me, is a very high number. Obviously 3 out of 12 is not half, but 4 out of 12 that's a pretty high percentage. So that was a little bit surprising. And I look at it and I'm like, yeah, watch that game. Yep, watch that one. Yep, watch some of that one. Yep. So I'm now remembering. I didn't watch any of the Thursday night matchup with SFA to start the year, in case you were wondering. But,
gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big number. It doesn't again, it's not half, but it's still a big number.
So I was thinking about this. I guess it was probably this morning, it's probably this morning, and maybe even last night. So we talked a lot early on about the Yabut games, the first 3 games of the year that you played. Do you think if you'd played anybody else, like let's just say somebody with a pulse, okay, that would have affected that you'd be higher than 5th in the college football playoff rankings if the rest of the season went like it has for Texas Tech?
I'm going to give you a boring answer here. Yeah, it's possible. Depends who you played.
Okay.
How much better were they? Was it a ranked team, or was it just a team that is not thought to be one of the worst in the country?
Well, how about an unranked Power 4 team that is okay, like let's just say an NC State, or let's just say a South Carolina, or a Virginia Tech, or some like a.
It's possible. It's possible, but I think I probably would lean towards no.
Yeah. See, that's what see, and so So when you think about it, as much as we didn't maybe care for those 3 cupcakes, they were maybe just standard cupcakes. They weren't the fancy ones that you get with the extra icing and the the colored.
I think they were fancy, all right.
Just
it's in the realm that they were
just nondescript.
They were the cupcake of all cupcakes.
Just but they weren't like a like the Halloween kind of cupcake, that's got all the fancy icing on it and stuff like that. It's just a.
So what's the point you're trying to make here?
The point that I'm trying to make is that they were right in scheduling those games because it really didn't matter at the end of the day. As much as we don't like them as fans because there's no high level of competition going into those games, that you need to have those games because you're playing a Big 12 schedule that is difficult. Some would say it's easier than the Big 10 or the SEC. Okay, so be it.
Okay. I feel a little bit like, you asked me the question, and I said something to the effect of, yeah, maybe, depends who it is, not sure. And then you stated it as a fact. Okay? I feel like you're turning an opinion into a fact there a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't mean to be turning opinions into facts.
No, I'm saying your own. You're talking your own opinion. I'm not. You're talking your own opinion, like for a fact it wouldn't have changed things.
I feel like my opinion is it wouldn't have changed things.
You don't know. Nobody can know.
No.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. As I just stated, I don't think it would have where you are now because you're so high up. I don't think it would have. I also don't think that if you had beaten Arizona State that you would be number 1. You probably would only be up 1 spot higher.
4.
Yeah. That would be my guess. Yeah, you'd still be behind A&M and Indiana and Ohio State. But I'm not going to state it like it's a fact that it didn't matter that you played the lesser schools in a pretty pedestrian, at best, non-conference schedule.
Unfortunately for me, because sometimes I get a little, I think I get a little demonstrative in my statements.
That's good radio. Makes it more entertaining.
I declare things as facts that may not necessarily be facts.
Yeah,
right? Or state them in a manner with
like
inflection.
Seasons are over in
and
April.
I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you but it's an opinion.
Yeah, it is my opinion.
There's no. Again, just like I think it's right. I think that you're right.
It's my opinion. It's kind of like I almost told my friend in the stands on the east side before the game even started on Saturday, "Hey, it's over." Like at the end, that first touchdown, we went right down the field. I almost went over and said, "Hey, the game's over."
It felt like it.
Yeah,
it felt like it. Like, okay, yeah, so we can stop worrying about a letdown or anything like that. Right. We got this.
Right, we got this. We're good.
We're with you.
We're good. Yeah. If it were a SEC or Big Ten school, then the committee would have a way to judge you with like opponents versus teams that you are trying to leapfrog. Well,
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, look at the SEC schedule this week. There's a lot of cupcakes, not really very tasteful cupcakes. Somebody says UCF was worse than Kent State. Oh, come on. You're being silly now.
I think UCF has a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
They didn't really show that against you. You were pretty efficient against them, but through the course of the season. The funny thing about UCF is they've been good at home, but they've been really bad on the road. They just look like a completely different team. They make themselves look like, hey, they're not that bad when you see them play at home. And then, just go to the performance before us. They scored 3 points against Baylor.
Yeah.
And that's a team that is not known for their defense, to say the least.
Yeah. 7:21 this morning here in the Morning Drive. Go ahead.
Do you guys wish that Tech had a game this week?
No. I think getting everybody healthy is really important.
Having a bye between now and the Big 12 championship game is very nice. I'm not saying that.
I would rather have it this week than next week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. You'd rather have it by this week than next week, or the game this week?
This week.
No. I'd rather have the game this week.
I'd rather have the game this week.
I'd rather have the game this week.
Oh, and then the bye after the last regular season game?
Before the Big 12 championship game, yeah.
Where we are right now, yes.
And if you had a game this week, we would know we would be locked in to either the Big 12 championship game or what we would need to have happen to make the Big 12 championship game. Obviously, a win and we're in. But because we're off this week, we're all doing the same thing. And I'm guilty of this too, like all of us are. Okay, we got the college football playoff and this going on and this going on and this going on. There's still a day off on Saturday. And then a week later, we've got to take West Virginia to the woodshed in order to get to the Big 12 championship game. And then we're going to have to wait for the Big 12 championship game.
It's next week.
It just feels like it's forever from now. And I'm like, and we got the college football playoff rankings, and will Tech host, and can they host? We'll happen to have to.
A lot going on. That's good.
If there was a game this week, we'd have something to distract us from all of that.
Well, I'm never someone that's going to turn down a Red Raider football game as far as that piquing my interest and making me have something to look forward to. I'm definitely in that category. So, yeah.
Maybe basketball needed to be home on Tuesday. That might have helped.
I don't know.
Or maybe even this week. Maybe they got the schedules mixed up in the Bahamas in terms of when Thanksgiving
Bahamas
is.
Pretty much become their second home, so it's basically the same thing.
I'm still curious what the Bahamas was thinking. Maybe those Bahamian people were like, Thanksgiving is always
They don't like turkey.
I think my guess is that this is dictated by the networks.
Yeah,
and there are plenty of other conference tournaments and hot, beautiful weather situations next week. Mm-hmm. And so this one, you want on ESPN? Yeah, it's going to be this week and not Thanksgiving week. That's
I got you. I'm sure you're right. I was just being a little more facetious than
either that or the Longhorns, asked for it. And we know they usually get what they want. So maybe Notre Dame didn't fit their schedule.
Maybe not.
Maybe better.
Maybe not.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, a question I've asked you guys before. I'll ask it again today. Obviously, it changes every week. Last week, my answer to this question is that there were going to be no upsets, and there was a big one in the conference with Cincinnati losing last week. So I'm going to ask you this week, which one do you think is the most likely upset in the Big 12 Conference? I have two that I think are going to happen, but I'll quickly give you the lines and all that good stuff. Kansas at Iowa State. Iowa State is favored by 4.5. Arizona hosting Baylor. Arizona State by 6.5. Utah home for Kansas State, 17.5. Man. How the mighty have fallen at Kansas State. Houston hosting TCU. That is a 1.5 point line. Houston is favored. UCF is at home. They're favored by 14.5 against Oklahoma State. Cincinnati is hosting BYU, but BYU is favored by 2.5. And finally, Arizona State plays on the road at Colorado, and it's ASU favored by 7.5. So really, just the lines don't matter. Just wanted you guys to know who is favored in all of those games. So which ones do you think will be upsets this week?
Can I say none?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I'm going to say none. I think Arizona State wins. I think BYU wins. I think Utah wins. I think Arizona wins. I'm tempted to say TCU over Houston. I just wonder what's left there. I guess there's a drumbeat now about Sonny Dykes, but do they move on from him, or are they happy there? You can't just change coaches every year. And I realize and he really captured lightning in a bottle that first year with going to the national championship game. I'm going to say none.
Okay.
I think I'm looking at the same two games Jamie is for upsets. TCU beating Houston, BYU beating Cincinnati beating BYU.
Yep, those are my two. I think those two are going to happen. I do not think Houston is a great football team.
I think
TCU will be motivated to beat Houston.
Yeah.
Because it's Houston. And Houston also won at TCU last year.
It would also not hurt my feelings at all if Colorado beat Arizona State.
Well, if Cincinnati wins and if Arizona State loses and Cincinnati loses, I think the Red Raiders clinch a spot in the Big 12 title game. I think I read that today. Is that right, Chuck?
Cincinnati and Arizona
State.
Yeah, Cincinnati and Arizona State. Yeah,
they both lose. I think you clinch.
Yeah,
and then it would be up to BYU and Utah to fight for the last spot.
Duke it out.
Yeah,
would not hurt my feelings if Colorado won that game. Not at all. I'm not going to say I'm pulling for the Buffs this weekend, but it would not hurt my feelings if they won it all.
I just don't see that happening.
And the interesting part here is that could help you guarantee you get into the Big 12 title game. But an Arizona State loss, who's now ranked, makes your loss to them worse. So it might hurt your seeding in the college football playoff. So it might help your chances to get to the Big 12 title game, but it hurt your chances to get to that number 4 bye spot.
You know what else could hurt your seeding in the college football playoff? Not making the Big 12 championship because of that loss to Arizona State, and they jump you.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, Jeff, and it affects you, that means you also lost to West Virginia on the road, and that's way more damning than losing to Arizona State.
Very true.
Way more damning. No question about it. Do you?
I think Cincinnati's going to win this weekend, and I think TCU. I'm going to say TCU beats Houston by double digits.
Wow. Do you think Sonny Dykes is in trouble there at TCU?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay. I think he just kind of.
I think TCU and Baylor should just flip-flop coaches.
I don't. You know, maybe they get bowl eligible. Maybe Baylor. Maybe he kind of saves his bacon again 2 years in a row by getting bowl eligible by going to Arizona and winning there. Although I think that's going to be pretty challenging to beat Arizona at their place in Tucson. Now that's a noon game on Saturday. What about K-State and Utah? That would do Texas Tech a favor, because then you would knock Utah. That would knock Utah out of the Big 12 championship game.
Out of the running, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I would much rather play BYU than Utah right now.
I agree.
Man, can you imagine? Oh man, can you imagine how frustrated we would be as Red Raider football fans right now if we were in the situation that Utah and BYU are in? That they are 11 and 12 in the college football playoff rankings, and you know it's a 12-team playoff.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, 12, we're in.
Yeah.
No, you're out because teams that are not as good, do not have the resume, don't look as good, have less of a chance to win it all, they are guaranteed spots in front of you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, especially with us having never been there, and BYU and Utah, same thing. They've never been in the college football playoff, right? Either one of them?
Nope.
Yeah. Can you imagine how frustrated we would be sitting here right now?
We'd be tearing our hair out.
But we have to give the other schools a chance to win the championship because they play college football.
Oh, thank you, Bobby Boucher.
That's my point.
I mean, it would make me so frustrated. I would be so done. I would be so angry.
Would you like to see a separate division of just? I mean, for the non-Power 4 schools compete for a national championship?
I would not have a problem with that. It feels like that's what you're headed towards, right? When you get to these super conference, that you're going to have 64 or whatever that are playing for that championship, and then you're going to have something different. That's what it feels like it's heading towards, Chuck.
I just feel like that we've reached a point where why just allow somebody in just because we're trying to make things equal?
And the money that is involved for those two schools and the promotion that's involved and all of that, can you just imagine how angry we would be?
It's just not fair.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. If you weren't listening to The Morning Drive, here's what you missed.
I may or may not have said this statement in my life, and I do firmly believe this. I can do anything once. Now, whether I can do it consistently, I don't know. But I can do anything once.
Okay, let's start with a cartwheel.
That's an athletic move. Okay,
I'd give it a whirl. I didn't know that was out.
I'd give it a whirl, but it wouldn't.
Literally,
it would not look anything like a cartwheel. You'd be like, "That's all you got." We come to you from the First United Bank studio here in downtown Lubbock. We'll take your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. I think I could go into a recruit's home and sell Texas Tech. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, just the university in general. I think I could convince a family to come and send their prized child here. I think I could anchor the news. I think I could go be a bank president for a day. I think I know I could sell cars.
Can I know which bank you're going to be the president of the day for?
Sure.
Just
so you can come over and get a loan?
No, to make sure I avoid that bank at all costs.
Sure.
That day.
I think that I think I could go over to Montelongo's and help them put some enchiladas together. I think I could. I definitely know that I could cook a brisket to rival the best in town.
Of course.
I do think that I could scramble up an omelet. And you don't scramble an omelet, but I could do an omelet that would make your taste buds water. Let's see, what else do I think I could do? I think I could. I know I can run a forklift. I've done that before. I know that I could go over and sell suits for a day.
How fast do forklifts go?
They don't go 74 to 65, I'll tell you that.
That was not the question that I asked.
They go pretty fast. I mean, the one that I drove at your friendly Overland Park Kmart, I mean, it could get up and go. And I think
I guess max speed somewhere around 8 to 10.
Yeah, somewhere along those lines. But when you're driving it, I mean, it's faster than you think. I think I only dumped. I don't think I ever really dumped anything. I don't think I ever like you'd have pallets of clay pots and potting soil and bark and stuff like that. Always hated it when the bark truck came in. Those things were just clumsy. The bags of bark, the cow manure, and do that. I know that I can mop a floor. I know that I can clean bathrooms. I know that I can take out the grill trash.
So the lucky lady would be happy to have you help.
This time of year, I'm not going to say I do my fair share, but I do a pretty good amount.
That's good for you.
I do a fair amount.
Get some mopping.
I don't. No.
Clean the bathroom.
No, I'm not. I've not done any bathroom work at our house.
I have not either. I'm being honest.
So, I think like I said, I think I could do a lot of things. Can I do it consistently well? No. Mm-hmm. But I'm a bit of a chameleon.
You can definitely host a radio show well, so that's all.
Can you drive a stick?
Excited about.
I can drive a stick.
See, there we go. There's a lot of people that can't do that.
I can parallel park.
I learned to drive on a stick, but I bet I couldn't do it now.
You'd pick it up pretty fast. You'd pick it up pretty fast. Okay, I am not going to break this game down for you, but I just wanted to give you a couple of observations, only because you're going to face Duke in what? December 7th, is that right? Right in there?
December 20th.
December 20th, okay. Mm-hmm.
It's right in there.
Right in there. Okay, so
moving that game up to the beginning of December.
Within a month. I'm getting that month. I get that game confused with the Big 12 championship game. It's the weekend
December
of
6th.
It's the weekend of the college football playoffs. And I don't have when you play KU, but that's
February, right?
Yeah, it's a long ways away. Mm-hmm. Duke is much faster. It's closer. I got to tell you, I was impressed with Duke last night. And in the Boozer twins, Cam had 18 points. He had 10 rebounds to lead him, so a double-double for him and 13 points.
I thought you were referring to Clinton Robb when you called them the Boozer twins.
Yeah. Caden Boozer, his twin brother, he had 7 and 4 rebounds. They did not shoot the ball well from 3 yesterday. They were 7 of 26, but they were 27 of 58 from the field. They did, as a team, out-rebound Kansas 41-30. And I mean, they put pressure on the ball. They got to the free throw line too. They got to the free throw line 26 times, and they made 17. I mean, on one hand, if you're going to get to the free throw line 26 times, you better make 20 of them or 22. So 65% was not ideal. Both teams really, I thought, did a very good job of passing the ball. Kansas, at times, they were not as consistent as Duke, but KU had 15 assists on 26 made field goals. Duke had 17 on 27. Both teams were physical and took the ball to the hoop. Kansas had 40 of their 66 in the paint, and Duke had 38 of their 78 in the paint. My point is, they both looked like, and maybe when two teams are playing each other that are ranked, because I think we saw Tech play better against Illinois than we did against Milwaukee and Sam Houston, at least my opinion. I would agree. You were more complete as a basketball team.
Yep.
And those two teams looked more polished and more complete playing each other. But again, when you're playing in New York and you're playing at Madison Square Garden, and you feel like and the eyes of the country are watching you, so to speak, it's a little bit different than when you're playing Milwaukee. I understand that. But my point is they looked a little further ahead than Texas Tech at this point in time.
Okay.
Now, I reserve the right to change my opinion on that. And Duke, I mean, they're the number 5 team in the country. Kansas is ranked below you at 24, and now they're 3-2. They have a loss at North Carolina and the loss to Duke last night. The Carolina loss was ugly. So, am I concerned? I'm not concerned because it's November, right? I'm just saying I think those two teams last night looked to me to be a little further along, and Kansas was playing without their best player. And that's not making an excuse as to why they lost. It's just, I mean, because you could say, well, Texas Tech hasn't had its complete team too. That's a fair statement. So I'll just be curious to see what it looks like this week when you play Wake, and then if you beat them when you play Purdue, and how that looks versus what it looked like last week against Milwaukee. Does it look substantially different? Mm-hmm. My guess is, and my hope is that it does, but we'll just see.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.